But thankfully the river is moving up to the power plant, so it's all good. Thank you very much. So this is a story for a song that I wrote around 2 years ago. And 2 years ago I did a gig at a place called Camden Proud Galleries, which is a venue in London. It's kind of cool. There's lots of this. It used to be a horses stable, so you kind of play. Each band plays in a stable, and people kind of choose who they want to see. I finished up my set, and my friend Cave, who was also playing the gig, came up to me and he said, "Ed, what are you doing tomorrow?" And I said, "Nothing." And he said, "Do you want to come and play a charity gig for me?" And I was like, "Yeah, fair enough." I was pretty much playing anything that came my way then. So I said, "Yes. What's it for? What kind of charity?" And he says, "Well, basically, he works for a charity called Crisis, and Crisis are a homeless charity. And every Christmas, Crisis get donated big warehouses all around the country. A lot in London, but mostly kind of just all dotted around. This particular one was in East London, and he said that what Crisis do, the program's called Crisis at Christmas, and what they do is they basically sweep the streets of that area and house every single homeless person they can find in this big warehouse for a week at Christmas. Yeah, it's good. They give them food, healthcare, shoes, dental, cinemas, beds, and entertainment. And Cave was running the entertainment, and he said, "Do you want to come down and just jam?" And I said, "Yeah, fair enough. I'll come and play some songs." So I got on the tube the next day, got down to the shelter, and was given a little badge that said, "I'm Ed and I'm here to help," kind of like a friendly badge. Was taken upstairs. While they were setting the gig downstairs. Cave just said, "Just walk into the main room where the cinema and all the beds were, and just walk up to people and play requests." So I was like, "Okay, fair enough." Kind of throwing me in at the deep end there. I'd never met anyone before. I was just wandering around with a guitar, probably looking like one of the guests, kind of being like, "Yeah, who wants to hear a song?" So I met some very interesting characters there. There was this one dude who had lots of tattoos, bald head, and was very scary looking, but he was a massive James Blunt fan. So we had a kind of a common ground there, because I knew a few James Blunt songs, so we had a jam, and he wasn't so scary by the end of it. All around the room were these posters that said Angel's Rules and what you could and couldn't do in the shelter. Like no drinking, no swearing, no smoking, no having sex with other people. And Cave was explaining to me that the reason it was called Angel's Rules is the whole shelter, there were probably about 300 guests there, and there were only 2 women. And one of the women was this girl called Angel. And she had been breaking all the rules since day one, pretty much everything on that list. And they said, "Look, Angel, if you stop breaking the rules, we'll give you your own set of rules. You can be the sheriff, policewoman, whatever you like, of the venue. We'll laminate it, we'll stick it all up on the wall, and you can go around and tell people off." So she was in her element, telling people off. It was quite nice. So I sat down with her, played her some Guns N' Roses songs, which she was a fan of. And then we all went downstairs, everyone in that room went downstairs for the kind of main gig, which I think I was meant to play 20 minutes of my own songs, but didn't play anything that I'd written. We just went from Guns N' Roses to Coldplay to Bob Marley to Bob Dylan, and everyone was on instruments and joining. It was a massive jam session, it was wicked. You would have loved it, Nashville. Seriously. But I played a lot of Guns N' Roses songs for Angel. She was jamming at the front, which is cool. After the set, I was packing up my stuff. And Cave said that his job on the last day was to take everyone from inside the shelter after a week and put them back on the street. Weather in England is notoriously not good, and at this point it was very snowy, very thick, and he had to basically take everyone from inside the kind of cold and the warm comfort and put them back out on the street. And he was saying how difficult that was, and where someone like Angel, for instance, had come from and where she was going back to, how she made her money and how she spent her money. And she was currently staying in a place called a dry house, which is in between being homeless and being an addict, and you stay in a house which is kind of like a shelter where you're not allowed to drink or take drugs, and she was kind of in and out of there and doing different things to earn. I'd only lived in London for 2 years on my own at that point, and had never really experienced the dark underbelly of London. I was 18 at the time, so I'd never really seen the real grittiness of it, and yeah, it was kind of a shock, to be honest. So I wrote a song about that experience, which has been my first single in America, and thank you to everyone who's been supporting it, because this song was never meant to be played on radio, so I'm very happy that it is.